Welcome to the Balanced Blood Sugar Podcast, where we focus on everyday wellness for everyone. I'm Adrienne Wheat, a registered nurse, here to share tips, habits, and lifestyle shifts that can help you feel your best by stabilizing blood sugar and improving your overall health. Everything we discuss is designed for general health and routine education because everyone deserves to feel empowered with the right information. But I'm not your personal nurse, so make sure to check with your healthcare provider before making any changes. Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back to the Balanced Blood Sugar Podcast, where we empower you to take charge of your health through informed nutrition choices. I'm your host, Adrienne Wheat, and today we're diving into a topic that's crucial for anyone looking to lead a healthier lifestyle: decoding food labels. We'll uncover how to spot hidden sugars, understand sneaky ingredients, and make choices that support better nutrition. So grab your favorite drink and let's get started. Let's kick things off by discussing the importance of reading food labels. In today's fast-paced world, many of us rely on packaged foods for convenience. However, these products often come with a slew of additives, hidden sugars, and misleading claims. Understanding how to read and interpret food labels is essential to making informed choices and taking control of your health. So first up, let's talk spotting hidden sugars. Did you know that added sugars are lurking in many foods that you wouldn't even suspect? From salad dressings to whole grain bread, sugars are often added to enhance flavor and extend shelf life. The tricky part is that these sugars masquerade under various names, making them hard to identify. When scanning ingredient lists, you should look out for terms ending in ose, O-S-E, such as fructose, dextrose, and maltose. These are all forms of sugar. Additionally, ingredients like high fructose corn syrup, molasses, cane juice, and honey are also sugars. It's not just sweet treats that we need to be cautious about. Many savory products contain added sugars to improve taste. For instance, a jar of spaghetti sauce could actually contain more sugar than a donut. So you should always check the nutrition label for total sugars and added sugars to make informed decisions. You also should understand the carbohydrates, the difference between total carbs versus net carbs. Carbohydrates are a primary source of energy for the majority of people, but not all carbs are created equal. On food labels, you'll see total carbohydrates, which includes all types of carbs present in the food. However, not all of these carbs are metabolized the same, so not all of them impact your blood sugar levels the same way. So this brings us to the concept of net carbs, which is what we use to calculate a low-carb lifestyle. Net carbs refer to the carbohydrates that your body can digest or metabolize and convert into glucose or sugar, affecting blood sugar levels. So to calculate net carbs, the ones that mess with your blood sugar, you can subtract certain non-digestible carbs from the total carbohydrate count on the label. So let's talk through how you can calculate net carbs. So first off, you should find the total carbohydrates listed on the nutrition label. And then underneath it, you should see fiber or dietary fiber. That number, you can subtract that dietary fiber number. Since fiber isn't digested, it doesn't raise blood sugar levels. And then usually under that is listed sugar alcohols. So you can subtract the sugar alcohols. Now, these are partially absorbed sometimes, and they have less impact on blood sugar, but not all sugar alcohols are created equal. For example, erythritol has very minimal impact and can be fully subtracted, but others like maltose may require you to subtract only half. And then the last ingredient to look for is allulose. Now, this one is not usually listed on the nutrition label itself, but it is usually listed on the package. And many times the manufacturer will calculate the net carbs on the package for you instead of on the label. So you can subtract allulose. This is a natural sugar that isn't fully absorbed by the body and has minimal effect on blood sugar, so it can be fully subtracted from the total carb count. So let's kind of put this into practice with an example. You can go grab a random box of something in your house to look at the label, or you can just listen along. So suppose a nutrition label shows the total carbohydrate count is 20 grams. The dietary fiber is 8 grams, and erythritol or sugar alcohol is 4 grams. So to calculate the net carbs, there are 2 ways. The first way is you can look at the total carbohydrate count and then just subtract the fiber, leaving you with 12 grams, and then subtract the 4 grams of sugar alcohol, leaving you with 8 net carbs. Or you can take the fiber and the sugar alcohol and add them together and then subtract them from the total count. So in this example, you would take the 5 grams of fiber and the 4 grams of sugar alcohol, add them together for 12, and then subtract that 12 from 20. The end product would have 8 grams of net carbs per serving. Now, understanding net carbs is particularly beneficial for those managing blood sugar levels or following a low-carb lifestyle, because it allows you to focus only on the carbs that have a direct impact on your body. Now, most people with blood sugar issues try to stay under 35 grams of net carbs per day, but you can experiment and see what works for you. Now, let's talk about navigating some misleading marketing claims. Food manufacturers are pretty savvy with their marketing. They often use buzzwords to make products appear healthier than they actually are. Terms like natural, organic, or no added sugar can be misleading. For instance, no added sugar doesn't mean that the product is sugar-free. It may still contain natural sugars, which have a similar effect on blood sugar. Similarly, organic products can still be high in sugar and calories. So always rely on nutrition facts and ingredient list rather than the front of package claims, except for in the case of allulose, which is often targeted towards people who are on a low-carb diet. So you will still want to check the ingredient list for hidden sugars like maltodextrin, but you'll also look on the package. A lot of times they'll subtract that fiber and the sugar alcohols and the allulose for you and do the net carb calculation for you. But you just want to make sure that you're not falling into the common pitfalls of products labeled sugar-free, for example. This can mean that the product contains less than 0.5 grams of sugar per serving, but it may still contain sugar alcohols or artificial sweeteners, or even maltodextrin, which can affect your health, blood sugar levels, and digestion as well. So let's listen to some more tips for making informed choices. Some actual steps that you can take to make better choices are to always read the nutrition label. Don't rely on the marketing claims on the package. The nutrition label is where you will find the facts. Same with checking the serving size. Often the serving size is much smaller than what we would typically consume. Typical example is a bowl of cereal. A lot of times we'll fill up a bowl of cereal, which could be a cup to cup and a half. And sometimes if you look on the package, only half a cup is a serving. So it's really important that if you usually just eat to your serving size without checking, you could lead to an underestimation of the calorie and sugar or carb intake that you're getting. So you want to make sure that you're following that serving size based upon the carb count, because those two go hand in hand. Number 3, you also want to be wary of long ingredient lists. A lengthy list can indicate a highly processed product with lots of additives and hidden sugars. So you want to be wary. The longer a list comes, the more likely you're going to find something in there that you shouldn't be eating. And number 4, you should educate yourself on sugar synonyms, familiarizing yourself with the various names for sugar so that you can spot them easily. We named a few of them, especially the oses, the dextrose, the maltose, the fructose, and even, maltodextrin is one that we talk about often. So you got to make yourself familiar with those so you're not having to look it up on your phone every time you want to check a label. And lastly, try to choose whole foods when possible. Whole unprocessed foods are less likely to contain hidden sugars and unhealthy additives. There are so many YouTube videos out there now about how to make your own keto bread, super simple with egg and flour, or how to make your own cake. Things like that, you're always going to be able to control what ingredients go into it, so you're always going to end up with a healthier result than if you just try and buy it in the store. But remember, making informed food choices is a powerful step toward better health. By understanding how to read and interpret food labels, you can reduce your intake of hidden sugars and make choices that align with your nutritional goals. Anyway, that's all for today's episode. I hope that you found this information helpful and empowering. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out. And don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends and family. Together, we can make more informed choices for healthier lives. Until next time, take care and stay healthy.